Hi, beautiful Libra. This is your reading for Aquarius season. Let's find out what it is that you're currently aligned to, what will bring you into alignment. We're going to ask what someone would say to you if they used their outside voice instead of kept it to themselves, and what will bring you into alignment. Let's find out. What are my Libras currently aligning to? Three of Cups, Four of Pentacles. You're creating a foundation with people that you feel are on the same, or building the same castles that you are, is what I'm getting from my Libras. Like, you are right now in the process of making sure that who you interact with, that they are going to be on the same path as you in regards to how you perceive your future, aligning. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, Libra. There's a foundation of you focusing on the shiny things right now. Like, you're focusing on the things that make you feel good, that make you feel inspired. There's a lot of creative energy here. There's a feeling of you really being inspired. But Source is saying to me that there's the background programming, or the feeling in the background. A good description would be like, you know, when you go to the grocery store and there is a song playing in the background and you're not even aware of that song. But if it's a song you like, you're very aware of that song because you like, it helps you feel inspired in your grocery shopping. But if it's a song that you don't like, you're walking around the grocery store and you're like, why am I annoyed? Why is there something that is just seems to be getting under my skin? And then when you finally hear that song playing, you're like, ah, it's that thing. It's that song, it's playing. And you know that you're in the grocery store having to do your grocery shopping. So you know that you just have to do whatever it is that you need to do, and then you'll leave and not experience that annoyance. But Source is saying that is how you're kind of navigating right now. You're navigating an avoidance to something in the background just kind of gnawing at you. And Source says, what is gnawing at you is an unexpressed emotional judgment that you have for yourself about how you handled a situation. Maybe you lied to someone, maybe you weren't fully authentic with someone with the full truth, right? Like, I see omitting here. I see not completely honoring someone, and some part of you is holding you accountable or prisoner to the feeling of guilt. And I have to be honest with you, right? That is your inner justice. That is your inner bone of there's a right way and a wrong way. And Source says, if you wouldn't be comfortable with someone treating you as you've treated them, know that karmically you are going to experience the ramifications of that in some way, because karma keeps score, basically, is what Source is saying to me. And the only way to make this right is to do what you would want someone to do if the same circumstance or situation was done by the other. You know, this could be in work, this could be in relationship. I see that it has to do with honoring someone's value. Like, the Source is saying it takes very little to be honest. but for some reason, in regards to a specific situation, you feel as if not being honest is the thing to do with this situation. And Source says you're focused on how somebody perceives you, not their feelings. And that's the truth, and that's the karma. The karma is that you're not really focused on how they feel or how they will feel. You're focused on how you will be perceived because of the truth. Okay. There's no, like, the truth of the matter is, Source says this is keeping you stuck from really receiving the feeling of connection to the good that is happening in your life. You're having a lot of good happen in your life right now, but you don't feel like the good is happening. Like it's not getting into your pores. You're not authentically experiencing the joy of how many doors are opening in your world, because there is this feeling of you not showing up authentically to someone that deserves your authentic truth. And Source says, just turn it around. How would you want this situation to be acknowledged or expressed if the tables were turned? And that's your answer, by the way. That is simply the answer. To release yourself and then start feeling the feeling of all of the good that's happening in your life, because life right now is really like expanding for you, but there is this little tiny feeling of you feeling guilty about something. And Source says it's like, that loose end needs to be handled. Handle that loose end. All right, if there's someone that you would like a message from, go ahead and think of that person, and this is a message from them to you. Transformation and death. This person feels very much like, unless this transforms from the way that it has unfolded, it is the end of the situation. And Source says the way that it happened with this person needs to become something different. It began in one way, and it needs to transform to become something that is more permanent in your life. And this person feels very much like the way that the situation unfolded prevents the growth of really getting to know each person from their from who they've become, right? Because it says the only way that we can become different to each other is to release the idea that we know the other, because by knowing them, we prevent them from growing. All right, let's go ahead and find out what will bring you into alignment, dear Libra. What will bring my Libras into alignment for the next 28 days? Remember who you are. You've got the elephant here, and you have the right there, which really speaks about connecting to your heart. If you feel as if something isn't fully expressed from a place of who you truly are, then that needs to be rectified. And Source says, focus, right? Focus on the feeling. How do you want to feel? There's an energy of everything that goes around comes around, but not in a way of creating like bad or good. Simply, this is how we grow. We grow by knowing that if we do to others the way that we would like them to do unto us, then we can feel free and authentic to meet others in the expansive feeling of being emotionally available to relationship, because we show up with integrity. All right, my beautifuls, I hope this helped you. I'm Nety, I guide. I'll talk to you soon.